What's up, you money makers? Welcome back to the channel. We are going to talk about ticker symbol CHPT, ChargePoint Holdings Incorporation, one of the stock that I've been keeping a close eye into it. I've been looking at this stock pretty closely, and I want to share my research analysis and whatever I learned about this particular company. And I love what I see for ChargePoint Holdings and the way the stock is moving. Especially, I love this price point as to what ChargePoint offers in terms of the buying opportunity. Now, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am a certified professional. So you want to do your own due diligence analysis and also think for yourself and your investment strategy if you want to buy or sell ChargePoint or any other stock that we talk on this channel. In this particular video, I'll be talking about current price point and why this company is super attractive at this price point, the stock, and it is heading potentially for a massive success. The second thing we'll talk about is I have been seeing substantially high short volume for CHPT, which is also causing some of the selling pressure, and you see the dip into the price. So we will talk about that as well, and I will share the data from a portal as well. So stay tuned. If you own ChargePoint, you definitely want to watch this video. If you're looking into ChargePoint and if you believe that EV is the future, and if you want to turn potentially double on your investment principal, you really want to watch this video as well. However, this will be a long-term stock, and we'll talk about the strategy as to how we can buy and sell ChargePoint, or at least what I think for myself. So there are two ways that I'll talk in terms of the trading strategy that I'm thinking for ChargePoint. And lastly, we'll also look into the price prediction and what can CHPT offer into the upcoming 12 months. Not my analysis, but what analysts are thinking about ChargePoint. So I'll share that detail as well. So watch the full video, click on the like button and subscribe to my channel as well. So that will be super helpful. I put a lot of energy, time and effort into doing the research and sharing with you all. So click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you can get notified at the same time I drop the video for time sensitive updates. If you want to help support the channel, you can join the Moneymakers community. You can join my Patreon. It's $4.99, not a lot of money. You can just flip a stock, a trade, and you can recoup the investment for maybe not just for this month, for many months in future. And you have access to my private Discord as well. So if you join the private Discord, we are a very small group. So join the Patreon, join the private Discord, and you can talk to me directly and many other people that we have within the community. By the way, we are a very small community and we help support each other. We talk about many growth stocks, penny stocks, and other stocks, and cryptocurrency as well. Let's go back to what has been happening with ChargePoint. If you take a look right here, the stock is down 6.23%. For the record, we bought, myself and some of the people into my Discord community, we bought the stock at around this price point, 22.55, and I bought it around 22.75, and the stock was down 6.23%. I was expecting a high short volume, and that came out at the end of the day when I looked into Fintel, and I'll share that data as well. For 5 days, the stock is down by 1%. For 1 month, the stock is down by 28.77%. There is a little bit of uncertainty and doubt because of their stocks offering, which is not a really stock delusion, but their existing investors are selling their stocks and the proceed is not going to the company. I'm not sure if it has changed, but you can take a look into my previous video on my channel. You can search Moneymakers space CHPT or ChargePoint, and you should be able to get that video as well. Now, looking into that 6 months, the stock is down 40%. That represents a massive upside opportunity for ChargePoint. For year to date, pretty same 38-39%. For 1 year though, the stock is up 119%. This is a unique company with a massive potential to spike up not only into the price point, but the company globally as a whole. The year range for ChargePoint is $10 and $10.03. And it went as high as $49.48. The market cap is $7.25 billion. Now, what has been happening with ChargePoint is, here is one of the article that I wanted to share with you, that ChargePoint has to be a great fit because they bought has to be a company which is one of the leader in VW backed charging software firm. They bought this company for $295 million. This particular company was founded in 2013, which is backed by Volkswagen, which is a minority shareholders, employs 125 people in Austria and Germany, so it's in the European region, and their software manages more than 40,000 charge points on the continent with access to 250,000 via roaming agreement. So this is a win-win situation, and ChargePoint CEO mentioned that as an established leader in North America, we continue our investment in Europe that is critical to our stated growth strategy. Now this is super relevant. Now before I go ahead, I wanted to share what the analysts think on TipRanks. I look into TipRanks pretty closely, and they have pretty reputed analysis, and analysts are sharing their data. There are 6 ratings. Think about it. There are 6 ratings. All 6 are buy, which is super important and pretty impressive in my personal opinion. You do your own due diligence and think about yourself and your investment strategy, but I just wanted to share what I think. 6 strong buys. The average price point that the analysts are thinking about $38.67. Now think about it. What is the delta? 22.56 versus 38.56. So give or take $16 on a $22 stock. So that's a massive return on the investment. By the way, this is not just overnight. This is a long-term 12-month analysis. As you can see, the 12-month forecast right here. The lowest price point is 29. Now think about it, from $22, if a stock has the lowest price point 29, I believe this is a relatively safer investment. Of course, every investment in stock is super risky. There is no guarantee. Now, if you have the appetite to take that risk, this could be the stock. So I just wanted to share what I see, and I love what I see. I like what I see, and I have been getting more and more excited about CHPT. I've been looking into this stock for a long time, but it was a pretty high price point. Why I'm looking into this stock, I'll share in a little bit, because this is super important. Many people say that they want to hold the stock for a long time. Sometimes they don't hold it for a huge amount of time, but this is super important. So low price point is 29, average is 38.67. Some analysts think that within 12 months it'll hit $46. Now, one of the article that I came across, which is kind of like on the flip side, that insiders selling hints that a limited upside. I'll look into it. I'll share this with you. I'll walk you through and I'll share my opinion. They have filed 13.8 million shares. ChargePoint insiders have filed to sell up to 13.8 million shares. The shareholders will still control 140 million shares after placing a cap on the stock until more selling is done. The stock remains insanely expensive, 17 times the financial year 24 sales target. Yes, we get it. Now, one of the things here is we have seen many companies that they are negative in revenue. They are pre-revenue companies. They're spending ton of money, 10, 20, 30, 40 million dollars, and they don't have revenue. Let's take a look what ChargePoint offers. The revenue is 40.51 million in April 2021. In January 2021, the revenue was 42.39 million. In October, the revenue 36 million. April 2020, 32 million. January 2020, 43.24 million. Now, this is a major upside. Yes, they're spending a lot of money into net income, negative 33, negative 30, negative 40, negative 90, but they're establishing their footprints. But let's take a look. April 2021. 82.29 million positive net income, at least based on this data. So I do not necessarily think that this is pretty accurate, because many times there is an exponential growth, or the growth is baked into the price point at the moment. Now, selling this particular amount of share, in my opinion, not a big deal. If you are an early investor, you want to exit out, you have the exit strategy, and you want to also work for your benefit, your company's benefit, and your own investors' benefit. So I do believe that that's the move. That does not necessarily say whether the insiders are super hopeful. Maybe they may not see an exponential 20, 30, 40 times return on the investment that they might have already got at this point. But take a look. We are going down from 49, almost $50 to $22. Now from $22, and I'll talk more about where it can go, and you can look into this as well. In 12 months, they're expecting an average of $38.67. So $38.67. Insiders dumping. I'm not necessarily saying that this is an insider dumping, because they still hold a lot of stake into the game. So it's not that they have sold all of their investments and they're trying to sell all their investments. But I think if you can go into this more details, but I'm trying to say that most of the people, or most of the initial investors, and us as a common stockholders too, we many times sell our investment. That does not necessarily mean that we don't believe in the company. It rather means that they may have a better opportunity to invest something somewhere. Now let's take a look at the short volume, which is super important, and I wanted to share with you. We are seeing 51 short volume ratio. FINRA short volume ratio is 51. In my opinion, it's a very high short volume. And if you take a look, what has been happening is it's a consistently higher short volume ratio. The total volume on Friday was 4.7 million, whereas the short volume was 2.4 million. 51.09%. Before that, we saw 61%. Before that, we saw 60%. So what is happening right now? Yes, the stock is going down, but at the same time, the short volume is keeping them up in selling pressure, which is why the stock dips a little bit more than the organic buy and sell, which is when I see the buying opportunity. I'm not saying that it'll spike tomorrow or day after, or there will be short squeeze just yet, because we don't know. But the technical pointers show a pretty good opportunity at this price point for me. Now let's take a look at why ChargePoint is super important in terms of the growth and the upcoming future in next few quarters and in next few years. ChargePoint, by the numbers, it's a massive company. It's 7 times more market share than any competitor. They're at more than 70% in network level 2 charging than the closest competitor that they have into this EV charging station business. There are 5,000 commercial and fleet customers worldwide, and they're growing aggressively. They have been doing the expansion by acquisitions as well, that we saw for $295 million company that they bought in European region. Their customer base, they have commercial and fleet customers, so they are one of the first market movers. So they have the first movers advantage into the market because they were first when no one was there. If you take a look at the ChargePoint as a company, you can see the company was founded, I think, in 2007, if I'm not wrong. Yes, 2007, as you see just right here, and they have been aggressively expanding since then. So what I'm trying to say is the ChargePoint as a company has a pretty good advantage. Their infrastructure is set up and they're setting themselves up for success unless there are other big hiccups on the road. Now there are 13 plus years in the business, as I just mentioned, and they're into the EV mass market. They have fleet and commercial customers, one of the big thing. Their places charge more than 125,000 network in the North America and Europe, which is the revenue cash cow market in my opinion. They have delivered more than 92 million charges to date. Their drivers can plug in 2.0 in the ChargePoint network approximately every 2 seconds or less, and they have helped the planet Earth with 387,000 metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions that are avoided to date. And on the top of everything, there are 175,000 additional places to charge accessible with one ChargePoint account through roaming integration with other major charging network, that they will be getting the cut or the commission or the split of the revenue, whatever you want to call it. So they're aggressively growing, and their revenue will be aggressively growing based on the growth and the expansion that we see. Now let's take a look once again as to how the ChargePoint has been trading. Once again, the volume, I want to refresh this data because this doesn't seem accurate. The volume was pretty spike. There was a pretty high volume. 9.6 million on Friday, as I mentioned, high short volume, but overall volume 9.6 million is higher than the average volume of 5.8 for the common flow. If you take a look at the price point, and this is what I precisely wanted to tell you, that it was trading in 30s. It went to about high 30s, 36, 37 right here, as you can see, and it gradually went down. And I like to see the price point of 22.37, 22.56, 22.77, or whatever the price point. So how you want to buy this, how I am thinking to buy this. So I bought this at $22.77. Potentially, if I can get 10, 15, 20%, I may do a swing trade, because 20% in a couple of days, or maybe 3 or 4 days, or maybe in a week, it's a pretty good return, and I can wait for the next buying opportunity in ChargePoint, or I can buy something else too. Because in my opinion, or if it dips, I can buy more and I can average my cost down. So there are two ways I'm thinking about it, but all in all, I do think this is a long-term play, and you can double the investment in no time. Many times, in my honest opinion, swing trades offered me a great opportunity or great return on the investment. You can flip a few swing trades and you can double the investment, and I've done it, so that works, but it's always not a great idea to time the market. Many times I just do it for fun. So you do want to do your analysis, and do not want to invest the money that you're not willing to lose just in stock market, as well as into some speculative scripts that we talk on this channel. I'm not a financial advisor, but I wanted to share one thing with you, that this particular stock has a massive strong support at $20, and between $20 and $21. Now, if it goes below $20, as you can see, it hit 3 times. March 29th, it hit $20.92 and shot back up. Before that, we saw that in November last year. Since November last year, it did not go below $19-20 range. When it hit the $20 mark, it spiked up all the way to $35, and then we saw a little bit of zigzag. It came back down to $20 range once again, went back up after $20 to $28, and which makes me think that this will be the case once again. We'll see. Once again, it went to $20, went back up to $26, once again came back $20.21, went back up to $35, and right now we are seeing it is hovering around $22.96. And I saw a strong support at $22.96, even though there was a huge short volume that I just shared with you. In my opinion, about 25% short volume ratio is a high short volume ratio, but you want to take it with a grain of salt, because many times when there is huge float, it doesn't really matter, but it pressures the stock price with the selling pressure into the negative direction. Now we'll see what happens into this stock, but there are two strategies. You buy it at this point and put it there into the safe vault and hold it for a long term. We have seen what the analysts are saying about the stock. And the second way is you do swing trade. If it goes up 10, 20, 30%, and whenever you feel comfortable, you can sell it and wait for the next opportunity. Thanks guys for watching. If you enjoy this video, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. If you want to help out the channel, you can join the Patreon group, join the private Discord as well with the Patreon group, and we'll talk a lot about sometimes sensitive information. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.